So you've heard of OpenTX, and this is it on the Turnigy 9X. And it's a really good system once you learn it. But I've been having trouble for the last week or so since I bought it, and I didn't want to bother the guy who sold it to me because he did give me quite a good deal. It's quite a modification to make this work, I hear, and the telemetry to be hooked up and stuff. And by the looks of it, online, the telemetry looks like a lot of fine soldering and wiring. But here we go. We're going to set up failsafe. And at first it was really difficult because all your channels are under mixer. And if we go to mixer here, we can see that we have channel 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7, all that. We want to scroll down and enter manual, or enter menu after we've found the max and the gear assignment. Hold it down, so click it and then hold it down and it'll go right to this screen here. Source max, weight, -64. This is for Naza failsafe to go from ATTi to manual in the failsafe window. If you have GPS, you can switch it to failsafe. If you don't have GPS like me, then it will be default manual in that window. It's the far right window, which I'll show you here. Okay, so there we have the Naza set up, and when I hit the gear switch up, it goes to manual, back and forth, and it seems to stall on failsafe, but at -64 you'll get the right distance to go to that point. And I'm sure that the channels for the 3 switch, you could switch, because down here we can make a switch here where it says gear, and we can change it to other switches, I assume. So if we go into there, we can go aileron, elevator, rudder, throttle, gear, trainer switch. So you could actually hold it in manual just temporarily and do your flip or whatever, but you would only have one thumb or finger, so it doesn't really work. And then I'm not sure what these codes are. It's really hard. Somebody should write a book about all these codes, because it's just no idea what the switches correspond to those codes. You know, it doesn't say 3 pause or anything like that. IDO 1, 2, which is 3 switch. That's your 3 position switch, but to assign all of it, I'm not sure how to do that. I guess you would use -64 or +60 or something like that and change each one. We'll experiment with that later, but let's put it back to what we know works. Gear. And then we push menu again and exit. And exit, and here we are with the HBX new front screen. If we push this here, we get the telemetry. I don't have voltages set up for the actual quad itself because I don't want to take my goggles off to look at it, and it doesn't have an output to my goggles, so. But it does have the TX here, and it has alarms you can assign, 2 alarms, one yellow and one red, I guess, and different beeping noises, so that you know when you're going out of range at 60%. That's what I've set it to. So when it gets to 60%, then when it gets to 40%, I've got my emergency alarm. So I haven't figured out how to put a sound in there, like a voice or something, but I guess I'll figure that out one day. And by the way, it's sitting on top. The laptop is probably giving a lot of interference here because the receiver wires are on the other side of it, and it's sitting on top of the keyboard, so lots of energy there. But it works really good outside, up to 95, out to 100 meters, 200 meters. Then it starts tapering off to about 70, 75, and it hangs there for a long time. So I've walked quite a ways on the sidewalk and stuff and tested that, maybe 400 meters. So there you go. OpenTX, HBX new. Timer for flying is hooked up to the throttle, and it can reset with the trainer switch. Have a good day, guys.